Alex assured of P5.9M in Aussie Open. Update: even an early tournament exit would still have Alex, Ila and her team cashing in at the Australian Open, AO, where the Filipino netter will make her main draw debut. Ila will secure $150,000 Australian dollars or roughly P5.9 million prize money for a first-round appearance at the first major of the year. Of course, the prize gets higher the deeper the round Ila reaches, with the peak coming at 4.15 million Australian dollars or more than P165 million for the champion. Running from January 12th to February 1st, the Australian Open offers a record 111.5 million Australian dollar prize pool or P4.4 billion. That is a 16% increase from last year's prize pool of 96.5 million Australian dollars and the largest in tournament history. This 16% increase demonstrates our commitment to supporting tennis careers at every level, Tennis Australia CEO Craig Tiley said in a report by the AO website. From boosting qualifying prize money by 55% since 2023 to enhancing player benefits, we're ensuring professional tennis is sustainable for all competitors. Ila's build-up for her AO main draw debut began with the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. The 20-year-old competes at the doubles and singles divisions, getting past her opponents in the opening rounds of both categories. Ila and American partner Iva Jovic took down the American-Ukrainian tandem of Venus Williams and Alina Svitolina 7-6, 7, 6-1 in the doubles side on Monday to reach the quarterfinals. The following day, Ila pulled the rug from under Croatian Dana Vekic 4-6, 6-4, 6-4. to enter the round of 16 in the singles division. After the ASB Classic, which will end on January 11th, Ila will swing back to action for an exhibition at the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne from January 13th to 15th. Alex assured of P5.9 million at the Aussie Open. The number appeared quietly, almost modestly, on the ledger of professional tennis. P5.9 million assured at the Australian Open. But for Alex, it was never just about the money. It was about arrival. Under the unforgiving Melbourne sun, where hard courts shimmer like mirrors and every bounce carries consequence, Alex stepped into a tournament that has broken dreams as often as it has crowned champions. The Australian Open is loud, relentless, and honest. It asks players not who they hope to be, but who they are, right now. And Alex answered. The guaranteed prize money came not as a gift, but as a receipt for years spent waking before dawn, for blistered palms and lonely flights, for matches played far from home while the world slept. P5.9 million in pesos translated into something far more valuable: validation. For a long time, Alex existed in the margins of headlines. A promising junior. A name whispered with optimism. A future tense athlete. But futures are fragile things in tennis. They fracture easily under pressure, under expectation, under time. In Melbourne, Alex played not like someone waiting for permission, but like someone who belonged. Each rally was a negotiation with fear. Each serve a declaration of intent. The crowd, initially indifferent, began to lean in. Tennis fans know authenticity when they see it. They recognize hunger that isn't rehearsed. The assurance of prize money is automatic in Grand Slams. Reach a round, earn a figure. Simple economics. Yet the simplicity is deceptive. Behind that number lies a brutal filtering system where only the resilient survive long enough to claim it. For Alex, P5.9 million meant freedom. Freedom from doubt that whispers during training sessions. Freedom from the question asked too often of young athletes from smaller tennis nations: is this sustainable? Freedom to reinvest. In coaching, in travel, in recovery, in belief. But perhaps most importantly, it meant representation. Every forehand Alex struck carried more than topspin. It carried a flag invisible to some, but heavy with meaning. Somewhere back home, kids watched grainy live streams, imagining themselves on blue courts, imagining their own names on draw sheets beside the sports giants. Alex was no longer an idea. Alex was evidence. The Australian Open is unforgiving to the hesitant. Matches are scheduled without mercy. Opponents are ranked, ruthless, and experienced. Yet Alex moved through the draw with a quiet defiance, absorbing pressure like heat through skin. Losses may come, tennis guarantees that. But the assurance of P5.9 million ensured that this campaign would never be framed as failure. It was progress etched in numbers, sweat, and scoreboard lines. When the match ended and hands were shaken at the net, there was no theatrical celebration. Just a brief exhale. The kind that says, "I'm still standing." In the locker room, phones buzzed. Messages poured in. Pride, congratulations, expectations. The weight of success can be as heavy as the weight of struggle. Alex understood that too. Money, after all, is fleeting in sport. Confidence is not. P5.9 million will be spent on flights, on rackets, on support teams, on the invisible architecture of a career. But what cannot be spent is what the Aussie Open quietly delivered, proof that Alex can compete here, on this stage, against this level. That proof will travel to every future tournament. Next time Alex walks onto a court, the stride will be different. The eyes steadier, the voice inside calmer. Because Melbourne has already answered one question decisively. Yes, you belong. And in a sport where belief often separates those who hover from those who rise, that assurance may be worth far more than any prize money. The P5.9 million is a milestone. The moment is a beginning.